Here with Caitlyn McGarvie to preview the 2023 Concordia Softball season. As we record this, not far from the first official games of the season. Kind of wanted to start off with a little bit of background on yourself. You're coming out of Lincoln North Star High School when you got to Concordia. How did Concordia kind of come on the radar for you, and why was this the right place for you?
So I was always looking to play softball, and the coach caught my eye, and then I started looking at programs to go through, and I saw that Concordia had a really good biology program, and so I looked into that, and then I also saw that Concordia is a very small school, and I was so excited about that and to have a small class size. I thought it was a perfect fit when I first came here. It was my first visit, and it was my last one, so it was pretty great.
Mm-hmm. Well, tell me a little bit about your history with playing softball. What got you interested in the sport and wanted you to, or what about it made you want to keep playing in college?
So I always have done all the sports, soccer, softball, basketball, all those. From younger, my dad taught me how to throw, and I felt like I just kept going back to that. That's something me and my dad did in the free time. So I enjoyed doing that, and as I grew older, it was kind of choosing between volleyball and softball, and I love softball. Everything about softball being outside, loved it, and I just continued to build that relationship with my dad, throwing and playing catch with him every day. So I stuck with softball, and that's kind of how I grew into it.
Well, you mentioned being interested in the biology program at Concordia, kind of along the lines of what you've been studying. What is your kind of dream job later? So
right now, I actually just got accepted into UNMC, the pharmacy program. So my dream job is to be a pharmacist, and so worked really hard getting in bio and all the chemistry classes here. So I'm very excited to have that new opportunity for me next year.
Cool. So I know some things have been different just in your experience at Concordia. You've played for a few different head coaches, and now you have Coach Culler. What have you kind of enjoyed so far about getting to know Coach and his style?
Mm-hmm. He really cares about us. Everything is always us, and he wants to make sure that we're always doing okay. Checks on us. He really shows that school comes first before softball, which is a really big aspect for us, I feel like. We haven't always had that in the past, so that's great to have that. He always has his door open for us to come in. So he's just a very caring person overall. He wants us to get better. He really pushes us during practice, and he just overall wants us to have a great character as a person, and he really wants our personalities to be that way. He just focuses on creating an overall great person.
How about as far as your what you've been able to accomplish on the softball field? You hit .390 last year. You've been first team all conference a couple times. What kind of allowed you to make this progress and to get to this point where you're really counted upon to be a really good player for this team?
Mm-hmm. Goes back with teammates. Teammates always pushing me, coaches pushing me, always wanting the best. Me going in and getting extra reps, the coaches allowing that to happen, and the teammates beside me always saying come on, let's get this, just considering and keep pushing me towards everything. I felt like my teammates and my coaches just continuing to push no matter what has really helped me do that.
Wanted to look back quick. The 21 season a couple years ago was a really successful year in making it to the national tournament. You're in the GPAC Championship Series, but what was maybe most memorable about that run?
Just the atmosphere overall. It was the teammates. Some of my best friends come from that team now, and just having that experience, and not everyone gets that, and it was just something way different than you could ever imagine. Being able to go to nationals, that's a big deal, especially at Concordia and the softball program. It was something that I've never experienced before, having your whole team backing you up. and wanting you to do better and reaching that title, it was an amazing experience.
Sure. And you've kind of talked about your teammates a little bit already, but how do you describe sort of how those friendships form over 4 years, and you meet a lot of people as some of the upperclassmen before you go, and then you have new freshmen coming in behind you every year, but how have those friendships kind of formed?
I think between like matching personalities and having the same end goal, we all want to push each other here. We want to get the best that we can have in the program. So I think that's how they form. We all want that common goal. We want to win. We want to have like dedication. I think that's really how it forms. Just having the same end goal really is a big key.
I have to ask about your brother too. DJ, of course,
Yes.
plays football at Concordia. What did you, as being his older sister, did you have any kind of thoughts on Concordia, or talk to him at all when he was trying to make his college decision?
I did. Me and DJ have always been really close, so it's been that like fun relationship where we kind of hang out and do our own things together. So I really tried to push him to come here, and I told him how great I love Concordia, the class size, that just the professors here are very kind and they care about you, and that the athletics are great here and the facilities. So I really tried to push him here because I wanted to continue to have that relationship with him, and it's been pretty good. I love it. Yeah.
Did you ever catch passes from him in the backyard or anything?
Sometimes,
Football?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was kind of your reaction to some of the success that he had? Obviously, he has done really well at quarterback.
Yeah, he's always put his work in. He's always been very dedicated. He's just the type of person that works hard, and he's always been dedicated, and I look up to him for that. And so I think that has a lot to do with his success, that he's always wanting to get better, and he always tries, and he's doing the extra work in that.
How about for you? Mentioned you've had a lot of accolades already. What do you hope is kind of the next step for you as a softball player and maybe as a teammate too this year?
I want to give people, I want to show them that there's more to everything, and being a good person can lead to having a great season, and really pushing towards that. Working with our culture and just having an excellent culture, I think, will overall help us have a great year this season. Working together, being great teammates, and just that environment, I think, really pushes us to have that season because we have that connection and communication to do that. So I think that's really something I want to do.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure you're looked at as one of the leaders, one of the more experienced players on the team. How does that whole process work of, obviously you come in as a freshman and maybe you're not exactly sure what to expect, and now in a few short years you kind of grow into this role where other people look up to you. How have you kind of taken on that process, and what's that been like for you?
Just showing that putting in extra work does matter. In the summers I always go and lift and do that stuff on my own. And just showing them that all the extra work is going to transfer to the season, showing them that, and just that overall working hard is going to get you where you want to be. And I think that's helped me get to where I want to be, and to be a leader. And I'm so grateful they think of me as a leader. I don't always think of myself that way. I'm kind of a more silent leader, I'd say. I like to think that I lead by example, and that's coming from them believing in me and trusting in me. So I have to thank them for thinking that even, and just putting in the extra work and really being confident in yourself, I feel like has really gotten me to where I am today.